All right, hello everyone. Welcome back once again to TCR Trinity Competitive Racing. We are back with you for another exciting race here tonight for round 10 of season 12 in the Platinum class, in the top of the top tiers of TCR. So get excited under the lights in Bahrain, one of I think 3 or 4 different tracks that we race at nighttime. So it's definitely going to be exciting. We're watching as Forzan's already making a couple of little mistakes there through Sector 1. It's a tricky track. We've got 15 corners, 5.4 kilometers, 3.3 miles, and we're going to be doing 29 laps. But before all of that, it's qualifying, and it's Blind Machine back with you guys once again for another Platinum race commentary here tonight. And who else in the booth with me? It's Seafreeze, of course. Welcome back. Another night, 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, it's great to be here for the first time. I think it's my first appearance in Platinum this season. I don't think I've done any in Platinum unless I got the memory banks all wrong. But it's good to be back in the commentary booth for Platinum. Bahrain, it was a good race last night, and I thought I'd come back and see these top guys do it again.
Yeah, so far this week, I mean, there's been a couple of really crazy, tricky races that we've seen from both Silver and Golden class. 2 safety cars in each one of the class races as well, so I'm guessing we're probably going to be seeing another possibility of a safety car here tonight as well. No weather, of course. I mean, we're in the middle of the desert, so very, very low chance of getting rain here tonight. But still, this track has pulled out a lot of spins, a lot of incidents. Big crash last night right towards the end of the race. What do you think we're in for tonight, Seafreeze?
Well, based on my commentary last night, I think it's going to be, you might see a safety car here and there, but if you don't, you're going to see some action on track with the DRS zones. You're going to see some overtakes into turn 1, turn 4, and on the back mini straight. You're also going to see a little bit of a mixture of strategy because drivers will be choosing which tires to go on and when. It's kind of a mixture between a 1 or a 2 stop, and either or can kind of work out if you go for it. So we'll see the strategy, we'll see some overtakes, and we'll probably going to get a safety car or 2, which will shake things all the way up.
Yeah, we've also got a couple of reserve drivers here tonight. Dreamzy, F1 Racer, is that it? Or I think there was somebody else as well. Forzan? No, Forzan is supposed to be a full-time driver, is he not? No, actually, he's a reserve here tonight as well. So a couple of reserves. Do you think they might get into the mix there and shake things up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bahrain is usually a track where a lot of people enjoy, and the lap times are quite close. And because of the slipstream, the DRS, it kind of gives a little bit of leniency for the drivers to get up into the pack. I think you'll see your main culprits up towards the front, as you see Cameron's got the provisional at the moment, a very quick 26.2. I think that already beat last night's pole. I don't remember what it quite was, but I don't think they got into the 25, so that's doing pretty well so far. Yeah, a few reserves here tonight. F1 Racer, like you mentioned. We also have Jones from last night. And Forzan, yeah, he would be a more full-time driver, but which we've seen him, but his schedule has kind of limited him a little bit. But nonetheless, we got 16 here, and I see Possess, and yeah, he's in 5th right now. Just making sure he's here. You know, I haven't been in Platinum too much to watch, but I want to make sure I get to see him in action.
All right, and another driver that likes to drive in multiple classes is Bats Plus, and he's actually just about to start a hot lap around Bahrain. So let's go with him on board as he crosses the line now, and he's going down into turn 1. It's a really, really hard braking zone that gets you into an offset right-hander there. You can cut a little bit on the inside there, but a lot of drivers try to take the wide line around turn 3 as he opens up the DRS on the first DRS zone on the track. And then going into turn 4, this is where we've seen a lot of overtakes this week, so watch out for that. Turns 5, 6, and 7 are coming at you pretty quickly, and they're a nice S section inspired by Suzuka, I think. So that is nice and quick through there. And then Bats Plus getting through the really tricky turn 10, or sorry, turn 8, and going into turn 9 and 10 now. And those are really, really tricky corners there. Sector 2 in general has probably the most difficult corners on this track. Now he's through the second DRS zone, and coming into turn 11, you can really chuck the car into that one, and it will usually take as long as you've got a nice setup on your car. And now he's getting it through turn 12 and 13. Purple sector 2 as well for Bats Plus. That's 2 purple sectors in a row. Let's see if he can keep it up. Only a couple more corners to go. One main corner, really. But on the track, they're considered as 2. And that's turn 14 and the little kink to the right now. Turn 15, only the DRS zone and a full flat-out car going down to the line now. And Bats Plus puts in a P2 performance so far. It's a 126.498, a couple of tenths away from Cameron, who's currently sitting on provisional pole with a 126.2. A lot of drivers out there on brand new tires, on softs. We've got a couple of people trying out the mediums, though. Of course, Bassassin, current leader of this Platinum class. He has lost his teammate, unfortunately, this week. So it looks very empty when you look at his team performance, although he's carrying the team all by himself. 158 points and a half for Bassassin and his team of 1. But that's enough to lead the championship. I mean, that's pretty incredible for a one-driver team to be leading a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, he's going to have pressure from behind, from Professional and Chatty Duck in the Alfa Romeos for the constructors. Professional's on a lap now, a few purple sectors. And he's going to come down to the line. He's actually going to come into the pits, so maybe he thinks there's a little bit more in there. But I feel like there's an upgrade from Alfa Romeo this week. A little bit increase in practice, I've heard. And dialing in the setup, you can see some good things from them today. And if you look at the team game, you also have AlphaTauri up in 1-2, which, you know, I'm a fan of. And then you got the other Red Bull team at 3-4, so it's quite a team game at the moment with the first 2 rows.
Yeah, Red Bull and AlphaTauri, the Honda-powered cars, seem to be doing pretty good around Bahrain so far in qualifying, but we've still got 8 minutes to go, so it could still open up to a couple of other drivers. Cameron is out there on a brand new set on an out lap right now. Breezy is about to cross the line, and he goes P2, 126.446, closing down that gap to Cameron, just beating out Bats Plus for P2 provisionally at the moment. And then Apprentice, his teammate, is he pushing on this lap right now? I think he might be. And we'll see how he does through Sector 2. He's about to finish it now as he's going through the second DRS zone on the middle straight of this track. And going through turn 11 there. We've got yellow flags all over the place, but that's just drivers slowing down to let other drivers through on their hot laps. It's definitely a popular time right now to set laps, and that's a purple sector too from Apprentice. We didn't see his sector 1 time, but he is going to be coming down to the last couple of corners now and rounding them up. As long as he can keep it nice and tidy, this should be an improvement from his P5. And nope, he is going to stay in P5 with a 126.603, so he was just a little bit slower on that lap than before. Cameron is out there on another one, and he's already coming down to the last couple of corners now. And let's see if he can improve from the 126.2. Tasmania Devil is letting us know 126.134 was the pole position last night in Golden Class. And Cameron, 125.910. Improving on the pole position time at the moment.
Yeah, first guy in the 25s. Forzan had a nice lap in the Williams to put himself P3. So that's good and respectful by him. Jones is also in a lap finishing it, and he gets squirrely on the exit, and that's going to lose him some time. He still improves 4 tenths, but he remains in 10th position. And Professional is also on an out lap, getting ready for a lap. He is still does not have a lap time on the board, so he's going to need to get one here in the closing minutes.
Yeah, and Bats Plus is going to be trying it out again. That 126.498 is not happy with Forza and just improved to 126.4. Breezy, all of them have beaten them out. Bats Plus wasn't in qualifying, and now with 5 minutes to go, starting another hot lap. Let's see if he can improve here. Chatty Duck has bounced up to 6th position. Yeah, they're starting to ramp up here slowly but surely.
Yeah, this is when the track's going to be at its best with a little bit of track evolution. Right at the end of the qualifying session is where you want to go out. Death Wish good enough for 8th.
Bats Plus pretty tidy there through the first sector. KGB Black Angel gets out of his way very nicely there. And Bats Plus now opens up the DRS. Most people are in the pits right now, probably changing over to another brand new set and trying to get out here to be some of the last people to cross the line at the end of qualifying, which is going to be in just over 4 minutes. If you guys are watching, thank you so much for tuning in already to another stream of TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. Make sure you guys leave a like, send in some more comments. Tasmanian Devil has been pretty active so far in the chat, so I want to see some more names popping up there. Let us know your predictions for the race. Let us know if you guys have any questions for any of the drivers or us or anyone really, or if you want to join TCR, there's a link in the description to our video, and you can join and race with some of these guys here. Bats Plus does improve 126.337, just missing out on P2, but good enough for P3 at the moment. Passassin is in P2 with a 126.317, so that gap is just 20 thousandths of a second. Breezy is out there on a brand new set right now, or actually a used set. This is a set that's done a lap already, and this is his out lap, so it's going to be 2 laps old by the time that he actually starts his hot lap. I mean, this year, I would say they've increased the tire wear in Bahrain. So what do you think about starting on a tire that's a couple of laps old?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what tire strategy you're going for in the race. If you're already thinking of a 2-stop and quite an aggressive strategy, I don't think it really means too much. But if you're going more for the 1-stop with the hard tire, just going a little long and not needing to go in another pit stop, that's going to hurt you a little bit because it already is quite tight. But doing an extra lap, it's just going to put you on the down. But I don't think Breezy's going to have a problem with that.
And here comes Breezy as we ride on board with him into turn 1. Beautiful braking through there. Absolutely nailed that apex. And a good exit on turns 2 and 3. Running into turn 4 with the DRS open, using all of the track possible on the outside of the run-in into the corner. Getting a really nice run-in into the corner as well. Now through sector 1, he's improved on his own time, but he's not purple through there. He's 23 thousandths of a second quicker than his current fastest lap as he makes his way now through turn 8 and getting into the really tricky 9 and 10. It's a double braking zone, and you got to really rotate that car to the left. He gets it perfectly once again. Got to get a little bit of slipstream here and from in front, maybe possibly, as he makes his way into turn 11. Again, just so calculated and so positioned perfectly in with the car there. This is a tricky one. Don't touch the inside curb on that corner. It's a purple sector 2. He's 3.5 tenths quicker on his own time right now. Let's see where that would put him. That would put him right around P2 right now. Sector 1 wasn't his best, but he still improved on that one as well. Running down into the DRS zone now onto the start-finish straight. Going to be crossing the line in just a moment. Breezy, yep, it's a P2 performance, 126.2. Still got a minute on the clock. We'll see if maybe he decides to go for another run here. Who else we've got out there? Passassin has just finished Sector 1, and he was about 1.5 tenths quicker through Sector 1. So he is on a fire lap right now, not just hot, fire hot. And Passassin getting through turn 10 beautifully as well. Look at the way that these guys can position their cars with no assists, no racing line, nothing allowed for this class, and they are still doing an absolutely amazing job. Passassin now making his way through turn 11 and 12. Really good through there. It's a purple sector. He's about 2.6 tenths quicker on his own time, so that would put him again in P2, unless he can really put in a massive P3 right now, or Sector 3. Let's see, he's coming down to the last DRS zone, opens up the wing, down to the line. Passassin on pole, 125.8. He absolutely killed it in Sector 3.
Yeah, and Cameron's not going to be able to get another lap time in. He's aborted his lap. Breezy as well. Forzan's not doing too much improvement. Pratis to the line. It's going to be good enough for 5th, so that's an improvement there from the Red Bull driver.
So Forzan actually just went purple through Sector 1. He's 2.5 tenths quicker than his own time, so that would put him already into P3 there. Let's see if he can continue this run, as most of our drivers now have crossed the line and have finished their runs. Zeppelin is right in front of Forzan on that middle straight with the DRS zone. And now qualifying is officially over, but we're gonna have all of these drivers crossing the line here in just a moment. So Passassin right now, 125.8 is good enough for pole position. That is not a purple sector in Sector 2 for Forzan, but still he's keeping those 2.5 tenths of improvement on this lap. So at least he will be around P2 or P3 if he can do a good Sector 3 here to finish it off. Oh no! Forzan! He catches the outside curb on turn 14 and spins the car into the wall, and that is going to be the end of qualifying for Forzan. He was on a really good run there, but he's going to have to start this race from P6. Passassin looks like he's going to hold on to his pole position with Cameron in second, Breezy in third, Bats Plus in fourth, and Pratis in fifth. So those teams got split up a little bit there at the top. The two AlphaTauris and the two Red Bulls split by each other, and then Passassin at the top with that massive, massive performance again, coming through when he really needed it most.
Yeah, that's good stuff down right to the wire, but yeah, Passassin, no surprise, was able to get the pole position. Cameron made it close, and as did others. So good performances by the top half, but yeah, it was Passassin who was able to get it, and that's going to help him down into the race. Everyone chose a soft tire for the qualifying, so we'll see what the bottom half decides to do. I'm suspecting them to start on a medium tire, and that's going to open the door for some strategies. I did want to just preface the race on where the standings are currently, especially in the top 5, because after this race, the drivers in the top 5 in the Platinum class, as all the classes, the top 5 from each class will be sent to the All-Star race, which is next Thursday, same place, same time. It's going to be at Portimao. A similar format that we used from last season. Obviously, Passassin's out in first with 158.5 from that one Britain race. Professional in second, doing well with 95. Breezy in third with 73. Black Angel with 66. And Meb, who is not here tonight, has got 61. And a few drivers behind them are very close. You got Chatty at 49. Bats Plus 48.5, Stanley at 47, Pratis at 40. So if they get a good result, they can get into the top 5, and if not, then they can get in as a wild card potentially as an option. So that's going to be interesting to see who the Platinum class sent to the race.
Yeah, so the fight for that last position in the All-Star race is sort of open for grabs. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, we already mentioned that Mercedes, the team of one with Possession, are leading the championship with 158.5 points. Then we've got the Alfa Romeos of 007 and Chatty Duck with 144. They've had a really good run of podiums as well in the last couple of races, so hopefully they'll be able to continue that. We've got the Williams of KGB Black Angel and Stanley, 113 points.
I think that's the Alpine.
Or Alpine, sorry, yeah. A little bit. I see what you mean now about that.
Me up. You too, right?
A little bit. Just a little bit there. Breezy and the Pratis, they are in the Red Bull with 113, so they are tied with the Alpines for P3 in Constructors, so that fight is definitely still open up for grabs there. And then we've got the Alfa Romeo of Maybe and Deathwish with 92 points, the McLaren, Bamboo, and Zeppelin 68 points, Bats and Cameron with 51 points, and then we've got Psycho Sane and Peyton with 9 points to their name. I think that is, I'm not sure what team that is either.
That's the Williams, I believe. Yeah, it's very tough. You got the Aston Martin with Landon with 1, and whatever the team we did not mention. Well, I don't know what that blue with the white is. They got nothing.
Yeah, so Claudio, that was the Williams. Okay.
I don't know. I think we might have messed one or two up, but that's all right.
So P-Hawk and Psycho Sane, they were supposed
the Haas.
to... Yeah, they are in the Haas.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go.
Oh, man, that made it rough. It's all right. We got through it. And now it's the formation lap. This is the time for the predictions. So leave your top 3 in the comments. You got to let us know now. Otherwise, they don't count. Blinn, any predictions?
Oof. Well, I mean, to give you some statistics there, Possession went 6 wins in a row. Technically finished first in the 7th one as well, but got a penalty that dropped him down to 5th. And then he won last race. So I wonder, what are the chances of Possession winning this one here? It seems about close to 80%. So I'm probably going to say Possession, if he can hold on to it here tonight, if he can stay out of trouble, probably going to be on the top step. Now, 2 and 3, though, I think they're going to be Bats Plus. And I'm going to go for a wild card here for Stanley in P3.
Oh, a little dark horse. Nice. Yeah, well, if you chose Possess and I can't, I'm going to have to go with my my arch rival. Sad to say this, I'm going to have to go with Breezy. I think Breezy's going to have a good performance. We'll put Possassin in second. They came down to the wire last week at Singapore. Marginally a difference to the line between Possassin and Breezy. And yeah, I like Bats Plus. We'll put him third.
Alright, we're getting back to line up on the grid now. Again, this is Season 12 of Trinity Competitive Racing. This is the Platinum class, and it's round 10. So we've got this race and 5 more to go to finish off the season here. Possession has been really running away with it, but it could still be anyone's game here tonight. Let's get ready for the lights to come on, and I will have the call here in just a couple of moments. El Capitan is predicting Possession, Breezy, and Chatty. Good prediction there. Very interesting. We'll keep an eye on that as the lights now go on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights are on. And they're off very quickly there, and they caught off a couple of people off guard there, and Bats Plus gets a beautiful start, and he's already attacking on Breezy into turn 1. You might even go for a double overtake on Cameron. He's going to go for it. He's going to make a little bit of contact with Possession into turn 1, but he manages to get through there as his car ghosts a little bit. And now, him and Cameron making a tiny bit of contact. We've got a car spinning off in the back. It looks like that is Stanley. So there goes my prediction for P3 on the podium. But Bats Plus and Cameron in the 2 AlphaTauris are battling it out right now into the first time through turn 5 and 6 there. So Possession managing to hold on the lead. Oh, there goes Breezy trying to overtake on Bats Plus. There's more contact on the back end of those 2 cars. And that could have turned very ugly very quickly, but they've made it through. And now they're through turns 9 and 10. There's a Forzan attacking. Oh, we've got another car spinning. It looks like Jones and Perry have made some contact in the back, and they both went around. So Stanley overtakes Jones now, who drops to the back of the grid. But wow, what a crazy lap one.
Yeah, a lot more interesting than last night. Was very calm and collected. Today is no, everybody's going for it. Stanley, yeah, he had a little half spin. He touched the side pod of Forzan, I believe, of the Williams on the opening lap. Yeah, Jones went for a little spin. Apart from that, I don't see much damage other than just the 2 spins. So it should be everyone continuing. Black Angel's pretty close to Chatty on the front straight. But I don't think he's going to have anything for it. Or he's going to go for it. Yeah, turn 1. Very close between the 2. Should have the exit for turn 2. Oh, Chatty gets it spun around.
Oh no, we've got another spin there. Chatty making a tiny bit of contact and going right around. I'm not really sure if that was, anybody's fault. It really looked like a racing incident, but still very unfortunate there for Chatty, and he's going to have to try and recover. Assassin still in front, 7 or about 8/10 of a second in front of Cameron. Bats Plus about 9/10 behind them, and then he's got a big train of cars behind Bats. We've got Breezy, Forzan, and Apparatus all keeping within about 6 each other. So this is turning out to be a really exciting race here right off the bat.
Yeah, Chatty just clipped tires with Black Angel, and it's spun them. Luckily, not into the wall. He almost clipped the wall. A lot of drivers do, but he was lucky to come away with it.
And we're about to have the DRS enabled here as we're going to start lap 3. And as I mentioned already last night, this is a unique track where you get to use the DRS pretty much right off the bat once you cross that line, because we've got a DRS detection zone right into turn 1. And there is the sign there for DRS enabled, and we're now going to get really heated up here because the DRS allows a lot of these drivers to possibly make some moves, catch up, or for somebody like Cameron, that DRS is going to allow him not to get not to let Assassin get away too far and maybe keep him in the fight for now. So if you guys are watching, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to keep a close eye on this action here on lap 3 of 29.
Yeah, that's what the top drivers have to do, is stick with DRS and not let Passassin go away with it yet. Just keep the pace going. If you do have to make an overtake, do it nicely down the straight. Try not to lose so much time, because the last thing you want is a driver gaining all this time, and the only is a safety car. So if you keep them in eyes sight, that's what the drivers need to do. And you never know if a safety car will come late, but you don't want to put your money on it.
I tell you what,
line up
yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Cameron is getting awfully close here to Passassin on the start-finish straight with the DRS now enabled. He's not using any of his battery on this one. Oh, and we've got, is that a VSC or a safety car? A VSC.
A VSC, yeah. Pratis spun it off the last corner. We saw a few drivers spin there in qualifying. He's going to go into the pits and get a wing change. Sometimes this switches into a safety car, but right now it's just a VSC.
Yeah, I got called out at a very exciting moment there as Cameron was getting nice and close into the braking zone to turn 1, but the VSC neutralizes the field. And we are going to have, oh, and there we go. We're back to green flag racing. That was a very short VSC. Breezy gained some time there on Bats.
Oh,
on the restart.
Making a mistake. It's going to be Cameron for the lead here into turn 10.
And there they go, side by side into 9 and 10. It's Passassin still in the front, but Cameron gets a really good exit on the traction out of the corner. There's still more battling behind them as well going on, but that's Cameron up into the lead of the race on lap 4 after we get restarted from the VSC. Looks like somebody spun it on the exit of turn 3. Oh, Cameron. No!
He spun it himself. He just took the lead and he's into the wall. He's still moving though.
Yeah, looks like he really just got onto the throttle there a little bit early and made that car go straight around. It looks like Breezy is making an overtake on Bats Plus for P2, and so is Forzan. Forzan is looking at the both of them in front, and he's thinking, I want to join this party. Let me have a piece of this. Here comes Forzan, Bats Plus, and Breezy all into turn one. Assassin isn't that far in front either, and they're gonna be too wide, and Forzan made a bit of contact on the backhand of Breezy's car. I'm not sure if he managed to get any damage from that. Hopefully not. Hopefully he'll be able to stick in this fight, because this is amazing to watch. Breezy was thinking about making a move up Assassin. Assassin goes a little bit wide there through turn four. And this is, again, opening up the door for Breezy now. So right after Assassin lost the lead, he regained it due to Cameron spinning. But now he's got Breezy and Bats breathing down on his neck.
I tell you what, the back end of the Mercedes of Assassin, it doesn't look too stable. It's kicking out in a few of the corners as I'm riding on board with Breezy. I see him struggling a little bit, so I don't know if maybe... the setup's not there, maybe he's pushing too much, the tire wear's coming off, but he still has a group of drivers behind him. You know, I wouldn't count it out by any means.
So all of these guys in front from first to sixth are on the same strategy with those soft tires, but as we mentioned already this week, this Bahrain track opens up the strategy to many different possibilities. You can do a one-stop, you can do a two-stop, and you're still going to be pretty quick. I mean, it's sort of pretty much equal, and the pit straight, or the pit lane isn't that long. It's a nice straight. The exit and the entry are usually pretty easy, so you don't usually take too much of a risk going in for an extra pit stop. Here comes Breezy into turn one. He's again having a tiny little bit of a look on Assassin, but Assassin is nice and late on those brakes, and that allows him to stay in front for now. Even with all the DRS zones around here, Breezy is still having to really work for this one. Forzan is still staying on this fight as well. He's nice and close to this front pack. And then they've got a little bit of breathing room behind. 2.6 seconds to Black Angel in P5. And Black Angel himself is running in a little bit of a gap. 2.5 seconds, or 2.2 seconds to Deathwish behind. 007 also a couple of seconds behind. And then he's got Cameron after that spin, who's trying to recover. And he's about half a second behind 007 in P8. F1 Racer in 9th, Perry in 10th, Stanley in 11th, Dreamsy in 12th. We have Jones in 13th, Chatty in 14th, Apparatus and Zeppelin in 15th and 16th place. But at the front, this battle is just getting better and better. Breezy has just lost DRS to Assassin, but they're not in the detection zone just yet. Is he going to be within the detection zone? He is, so he's still going to have DRS on Assassin as they're going to be coming out of this corner right now onto the start-finish straight once again, but he's still not catching up much, and Forzan is going to be the first one to jump into the pits.
Yeah, it seems quite early from my point of view. Not sure if that is a scheduled pit stop or not. There's no wind change, so yeah, I mean, he definitely decided to come in.
And the medium tires go onto that Williams car of Forzan here tonight. And he's going to come back onto the grid here, or onto the track in P13. So he's going to have a little bit of work to do to recover that pit stop. It's a little bit early, but it still might work out for him in the end. He's pretty much committing here for the two-stop. He's probably going to fit the soft tire towards the end of the race. But, again, a safety car could still come out, and that might give pretty much everybody in the field a free pit stop. We're going to have to wait and see. For now, Assassin, Breezy, and Bats Plus continue on with this three-way battle.
Yeah, Cameron's also very close to the back of Professional, who decides to do a little defensive maneuvers.
And Cameron is trying every possible way around him. He's looking to the inside, to the outside of the corner, anywhere he can go. And for now, it's still P7 here for Cameron. From the lead to P7, I mean, that must be really frustrating. But at this point, he's got to keep his head down. focus on the rest of the race. We've still got 21 more laps to go. Anything could still happen. It looks like Breezy has just overtaken Passassin. Yeah, Breezy up into the lead of the race here on lap 8. And he has just overtaken Passassin into turn 1. But now Passassin is the one who has the DRS to come back at him into turn 4. And Passassin down the inside on Breezy. And that is him back into the lead once again. So Breezy didn't get to stay in the lead there for too long. But it's definitely showing that he is getting the same sort of pace here tonight as is Passassin. Looks like we have Zeppelin spinning on the exit of turn 13, but he is moving once again. And no VSC or safety cars are required for that. Breezy having a little bit of trouble through turn 10, trying to stay alive here in this battle with Passassin and possibly for the win of the race.
Yeah, I think Breezy is just trying to get a little bit more knowledge of Passassin and what's the best opportunity and strategy to go ahead and win this thing. As Zeppelin does retire into the pit lane, should not cause a safety car, so no worries there. But Breezy a half a second back. You know, if he wants to try to go for a move, he can on the front straightaway. He'll have an opportunity, and maybe this time he can get a better exit out of turn 1 and 2 and maybe lead a lap fully.
And here he goes around the right hand side of Passassin into turn 1. Passassin slots right behind this back wing, and Breezy for now gets to lead this Grand Prix once again on lap 9. Passassin not getting as good of an exit out of turn 3 as he did on the last lap. And that is Breezy still holding on to that lead. Now Bats Plus is a half a second behind Passassin. Let's see if he can possibly give Passassin a little bit more work to do here tonight. It's been a little bit too easy for him this season.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. You got to put the pressure on these drivers. You know, just because they win a few races in a row doesn't mean you give up. At that point, you start, you know, pushing even harder and trying to do something. As we have a VSC. I don't know what that's for. Maybe Dreamsy?
Dreamsy, yeah. Dreamsy had a little bit of a moment out of turn 4. Might have lost some front wing pieces that ended up on the track. And as we know, the game really likes bringing out VSCs this year.
Yeah, it really does. I love them. Got 20 laps left in this race. I wonder if this will stay out for the top drivers to decide to pit, potentially. They're coming around the last corner relatively soon. Does this open the strategy up for some of them to dive into the pits, or will the VSC go back green? Looks like Breezy's going to go in. Everyone, the top 3, but Breezy gets the speeding. 5 seconds. Oh, man, that's exactly what you did not want.
Absolutely. I think Breezy there decided to go down into the pits at the very, very last moment and didn't give himself enough time to really slow down that car. So that's really going to hurt Breezy now. 5 seconds that he has either needs to pull out or needs to serve on his next pit stop. Either way, that's 5 seconds that he would have liked to keep to his racing time, but now it's going to be added on. So they come back out in P4 and P5. Breezy and Passassin and Bats Plus behind them as well. Black Angel gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. And look at this. Breezy and Passassin into turn 4 side by side. Breezy manages to keep the position, pushing Passassin a little bit off the track. But Breezy keeping P4 for now. This is pretty much the net lead battle here.
Yeah, it is, unless, you know, another strategy or safety car changes it. But yeah, this would be the net P1. Bats lost a little bit in that transition. He's outside the DRS of the top 2. But if Breezy could kind of hold up Passassin a little bit, I mean, he's got a penalty to deal with. So I don't know how he decides to go in this race. If he decides to make the gap, or if he decides to just keep doing his race and maybe put Passassin under pressure, maybe let a few guys catch up. I don't know what he's thinking, but he's got 5 seconds to deal with at some point. If he pits again, he'll have to serve it, so we'll see how that goes. As for the lead, Cameron pits. That gives Professional on the alternate strategy the go-ahead for first, as does Perry in second.
Yeah, and that is the last of the soft runners getting off of those tires as Passassin goes for a move on Breezy into turn 1. And that is the move done. Breezy down to P4, Passassin up into P3. These guys are going to be slotting these positions probably for another few laps, I have a feeling. They seem to have very, very similar paces, really just a difference of DRS on every lap. So keep an eye on those, as now Breezy is to keep as close as possible to Passassin, but it's going to be very difficult as now they're on the medium tires. And I gotta say from experience, these medium tires around here, they're not as good as they are on most other tracks. You really kind of want to have the softs or the hards on this track. For some reason, the hards work really, really well. We saw that in Golden Class last night. They did an amazing job for those people who switched over to the hard tires. As Forzan here is lining up a move on Jones, the two Williams drivers switch positions, and Forzan is up into P6 now.
And Forzan showed some speed here. He's about 5 seconds off the top 3. Let's see if he can get himself back into it. He did just pit pretty recent, 3 laps ago.
Assassin with the fastest lap time so far, 129.2. And guess what? Oh no, was it 129? Yeah, that was a 129. Never mind. I was gonna say that beats the record for TCR, but no, actually the lap record for TCR is a 126.3, held by Golderator from the Golden Class of Season 10 and Round 1, as Cameron retires in the pits.
Yeah, it might have been the hamstring. I think he said he pulled his hamstring before this. He might need to get some icy hot or whatever they sell, and I think that's going to do it for him.
Yeah, that is definitely unfortunate there for Cameron. He was doing pretty well until he had a little bit of a half spin, and then after that, you know, he was in a pretty good position still. He was in P8, running behind Jones, was catching up pretty quickly, and it was a little bit surprising to see him pull that out of this one, but that is another driver gone, so we're down to 14 runners, and watching now as Passassin is getting nice and close to Perry. Perry is on the alternate strategy. He started this race on the medium tire and still running on it after 11 laps, and 007 is in the lead, about 5.5 seconds in front of this battle. But here comes Passassin now with the DRS open, and this is going to be an easy overtake for Passassin on Perry. Where is Breezy? Breezy's closing in very quickly. Is he going to go down into it? Nope, he decides to wait to pick a better place to overtake Perry. He is going to have another DRS zone coming out of turn 3 here. And there goes Breezy now on Perry. Even though Perry's got the DRS as well, he's going to go for it down the inside. And that's another overtake done in turn 4. It's been a really popular place for this week for people to overtake.
Yeah, pretty smart there by Breezy to wait for the second straightaway. He kind of had an opportunity to get Perry on the main one, but he thought a little bit better of it as Apparatus is done for tonight. We got Perry just behind his Bats Plus, looking for a move on the back, short little straight that we got here. You would think more moves would happen around here, but the braking zone's not as deep as the other 2 DRS straightaways. It's also a short straight. It's actually a lot shorter than the other ones.
Yeah, and that yellow flag is just for the retired car of Apparatus. Hopefully we don't get any more VSCs in this race. We haven't seen any cause for a safety car yet, as 007 now decides to pit from his medium tires. Here comes Bats Plus on Perry, and that's going to be an easy overtake there as well. And he moves up into P3, and now about 1.6 seconds behind Breezy. Breezy is just able to keep within the DRS zone of Passassin, but again, he needs to close up that gap. He needs to catch up, and he needs to put some more pressure here tonight on Passassin, as we're nearing now the halfway point of this race. We're now on lap 14 of 29, so we're going to be halfway on the next lap. So if you guys are watching, thank you so much again for all your support. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, send in some more comments. Let us know if you guys have any questions about the league, about any of the drivers. We're also going to have some post-race podium interviews, so if you have any questions for any of the drivers you think are going to end up on the podium, let us know in the chat. Good time to mention our affiliate sponsor, Fanatec. If you guys are looking to buy yourself some equipment or for somebody you like, for the holidays, make sure you get that order in and make sure to use the link in the description of this video so you can support TCR in doing so as well. Check that out, and while you're at it, check out our website where you can find all the information on how to join our Discord and how to join this league and race with us here. We race on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for silver, golden, and platinum class respectively. So check it out, let us know which class you want to join, and we'll be happy to see you. We've got 5 more races to go in the season, not mentioning, of course, next week on Thursday we're going to have the All-Star race, and we still have the TCR Grand Prix coming later in this season, so lots of exciting things to come. If you guys want to join now and race for the rest of the season, you're more than welcome to. Let us know, and we'll be happy to see you there. But for now, we're on lap 15 of 29, halfway through this race, as Breezy is keeping it nice and close to Passassin in 1 and 2 in this race at the moment. Bats Plus in P3, Perry in 4th, but hasn't pitted yet from his medium tires. And Jones is the other medium tire runner in P6, who has not pitted yet. Oh, if you got somebody off the track, it's F1 Racer having a spin on the exit of turn 3, and he's had to let a car through there of KGB Black Angel, so making a good job of getting back onto the track safely.
Yeah, you know, it's quite surprising with still 13 drivers, a mix of strategy, a few drivers on different tires, pitting at different points in this race. The only real gap is Breezy and Passassin, other than Deathwish, who just got into the DRS zone with Jones. But other than that, there's been a lot of big gaps. So now we got Forza in. All right, well, thanks, guys. You just ruined my point. I had to get that one out a lap earlier, and it would have worked.
And it looks like Deathwish Tricky now also closing up on Jones very quickly. So we've got this sort of secondary wave now of overtakes coming as Perry decides to pit from his medium tires. Is Deathwish going to go for a move here on Jones with the DRS available to him? He's not really closing up much. I think there might be a little bit of difference of setup here where Jones' car might be a little bit more slippery on the straight line. But yeah, definitely the back end is all over the place through the corners, and Jones, they're almost losing the car. Deathwish is going to go around the right-hand side, and that's going to turn into the inside corner of turn 4, and that is Deathwish up into P5. Jones losing a position there. Yeah, I think it's down to setup. You can see that, you know, when they were going through turn 1, 2, and 3, Deathwish just had that confidence to throw the car in and make it stick, and Jones' back end was just switching out on him from one direction to another. He had to really work to keep it in check. How do you usually like to set up your car, Seafreeze? Is it more, do you go for straight line speed and slippery setup, or do you go for more downforce and a little bit better through the corners?
I don't know. I stopped doing that a little while ago. I don't really know. I usually, depends around Bahrain. I really think you need a good low downforce. You need to be quick in the straight line, and kind of work the throttle in the other parts. As Breezy was actually did just a simple DRS move for P1.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I always like to have a little bit of extra speed in the top speed, like on the straights. So I usually go for a little bit less downforce. I do like the back end to be a little bit more drifty. That way you can sort of, you know, throw it into a corner, make it rotate, and then catch it on the exit. Of course, it did hurt me in Bahrain last night, not last night, on Tuesday. On Tuesday night, right on the last lap, I guess, my setup worked against me as the tires were a little bit worn out, and I came around turn 8 and spun it right into the wall. So that was not fun. But it's very interesting to see, especially on 2021 on this particular game. The setups do make a lot more difference now.
Yes,
So
they do.
it's interesting to see if these drivers go for a slippery setup or if they go for something more planted down, more confidence in the corners. And yeah, I think that's what it looked like there for Deathwish and Jones.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the good part, I think, about this game is there's multiple setups that you can make, you know, to kind of suit your driving style. Personally, I'm more of like I guess more of an I like more of an understeer car than an oversteer. And there's ways you can kind of set that up throughout the setup. Obviously, track dependent. And I also think it depends who you're racing against as well. I think depending on your competition, what you can and can't get away with, that could be another reason to go a certain direction, possibly, or even depending on where you are in the championship. Obviously, Possassin's got a clear go at it, so maybe that, I don't know, maybe it impacts his setup work depending on maybe he can go with a more safe setup, or maybe that's the time to actually do something and try to do something a little different because you do have a bigger gap. I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting here. We've got 11 more laps to go. A few more drivers making their second pit stop of this race. Deathwish, Tricky, Jones, and Chatty all switching over to new rubber. Medium for Deathwish, soft for Jones, and a medium for Chatty. Jones might struggle a little bit for 11 laps on a soft tire, although we did see, I can't remember who it was last night in Golden Class, they ended up taking their softs for 14 laps. That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean that was that was a pretty long time to be on the soft tire, but yeah, I guess it could get to the end. I gotta say, it probably isn't pleasant, but you can at least go to the distance. Just want to point out the top three. If you get rid of Breezy's penalty, I think that's what I predicted. I think I predicted this for once. Breezy, Possassin, and Bats Plus. Not saying this is the way it's going to end, but I've never been this close ever in my prediction. So I just wanted to, you know, point that out. That I'm doing pretty good.
I hope you didn't jinx it just right now by saying that.
I hope I did. I hope I just messed it all up for everybody. I hope at the end of lap 19, I hope professional Stanley and Deathwish are leading this thing.
All right. Well, it could be anybody's race still. We've still got a little bit to go. Oh, and there's a yellow flag there. It looks like F1 Racer had another moment on the exit of turn 3. He's been catching out a few drivers here tonight, and he's just holding on right now to P11, and now he's lost the position to both Chatty and Dreamsy there. But no major incidents so far. We've had a couple of spins. We had a couple of people retire in the pits, but nothing else other than that. Just a lot of really good battling, great overtaking, and a big battle going on right now still for the lead of this race. Breezy and Possassin, they've been at each other since this thing started. They pitted on the same lap. They came out right behind each other. The only difference really is Breezy's penalty, and he's going to have to serve that one when he makes that second pit stop. So the question then becomes, can he catch up 5 seconds on Possassin while Possassin is going to have that clean air for 5 seconds? What is that, you know, an extra little bit of the track? Is that going to be enough for him to pull away from there?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. He's the only one with the penalty, though. The only one, I think Black Angel had the drive-through earlier. But Breezy's the only other one with the penalty. The 5 second really hurt in this race. I wonder, well, obviously Possassin is aware of this penalty, and that's probably why he's just sitting back and relaxing. But I have a feeling coming to the close, Possassin's going to want to win on merit, you know, win actually on first on track. So you might see an overtake. You might see the elbows coming out a little bit. But Breezy, yeah, he needs a little bit more, a second or so to get himself clear Bats Plus for third, or for second, that would have been, to keep that. But We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so Breezy's still going to be pretty comfortable for P3. It's just a matter of can he possibly catch up to Bats Plus, who's going to gain P2 out of that penalty, out of that longer stop. And then is he going to have enough left in the tank to catch up to Passassin? Now, it could also be said, I mean, Passassin could get a penalty when he runs into his pit stop, or Bats Plus could do the same thing. Anything could really switch up here as Forza now makes his pit stop, and he goes on to a brand new set of soft tires. He's going to be coming out very, very close to KGB Black Angel there, but just comes out in front of him and manages to keep P6. So Forzan now is going to be taking these tires until the end. So even though you can run for longer on these medium tires for Breezy and Passassin, I think they're getting to that point now in the race where they have to make their stop, because if they don't, they're going to start losing out to the people who do make their stop and switch over to new tires. Also, we've only got like 7 more laps to go in this race, so time is running out.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually will come in. I thought soft to medium, I remember in previous games, that was almost, you know, impossible to get to the end without a puncture. Usually you had to do the soft to hard to make that thing work, but it looks like these drivers, I think they'll be fine. I mean, they have a big gap to P4 of professional. There's 20 seconds between Bats and professional, so they have the gap to save tires if needed. I think they'll be fine. I don't think they're going to come in.
Well, that will be another interesting strategy that we will see in Bahrain this week. We've seen people do one-stops from, or attempt to do one-stops from soft to hards. We've seen people trying the two-stops and making it work. If these guys can make a one-stop work from a soft to a medium, I'm going to be very, very impressed. I mean, I'm already impressed with all of these drivers throughout this season. It's been an amazing season so far. We've seen some great overtakes, great moves. Some of the best overtakes we've seen all season have come from this Platinum class. I think, you know, a couple of tracks in particular were just absolutely incredible. If you guys have missed out on any of that, check out our channel here on YouTube. Check out our Twitch. We've just launched that one a little bit recently, and so from now on, we're streaming on both. But yeah, I mean, if these two drivers can make a one-stop work here tonight, that's going to be incredible. I wonder if Bats Plus is thinking of doing the same thing. He's dropped back by a little bit, about 4 seconds behind Passassin now. So Breezy, if he doesn't pit, and if he pulls out another second before the end of the race on Bats Plus, that will be P2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he's got a great chance of that happening. As long as he doesn't battle too much, Passassin's going to make a move here for first. And it should be quite an easy move. Yeah, so we'll see if Breezy gets the DRS for turn 4. And let's see if he actually battles this or not.
We've got another little battle going on here between Forzan and Perry. Forzan has now got the DRS on the start-finish straight, and Forzan sets the fastest lap of the race. He was the first one to switch over to that brand new set of softs. 128.254 is the new fastest lap, and that is Forzan. So that's a good sign for Passassin and Breezy if they are thinking of making a pit stop in tonight's race, but if they're not, it doesn't really do much for them. Breezy keeping within about 7/10 or 6/10 of a second of Passassin, dropping it down to 5/10 now. He's doing a really great job of staying with Passassin. I just wonder why he wasn't able to do that in all the other races that we've had this season.
Yeah, I mean, not too sure. I mean, well, last week came really close. I mean, he only lost it by, what, a hundredth or so, a few hundredths. Came right down to the wire at the last lap, right across the line at Singapore, I think that was. And obviously, Breezy, he won the first race as well. I mean, Passassin didn't win until the third. But between the race 3 and later, there was not much pressure on Passassin, and kind of just allowed him to string a few races in a row.
Forzan just did a beautiful overtake there on 007 through turn 11. They were side by side, kept it nice and clean, gave each other space, but that was a really good overtaking maneuver there from Forzan, and he moves himself up into P4. Breezy closed down. Oh, and another fastest lap for him as well, 1:27.8. So he's shaved off another 0.4 of a second from his previous lap while overtaking 007 and Perry on that same lap. So that is pretty exciting there from Forzan, doing a beautiful job here tonight in Bahrain. 5 laps to go now. And Breezy and Pisassin still right in P1 and P2. That battle between them is still going on. It's been quite exciting. Oh, and what happened to Forzan? Forzan, I think, has just had a little spin. Yeah, he's just dropped down to P6. So all of that work that he just did to overtake Perry and 007 goes down the drain, unfortunately, for Forzan. And he's going to have to do that once again. So Breezy dropped back a little bit, about 0.8 of a second now, but crucially, they're still pulling out time on Bats Plus. Bats Plus is now 4.3 seconds behind. So if these guys can keep it up, and if Breezy can pull out another 0.6 of a second or so in the last 4 laps, he'll be able to hold on to P2 here tonight, even with that 5-second penalty. And yeah, it's becoming more and more obvious here that these drivers are going for a one-stop strategy in tonight's race, and they're taking it until the end. Forzan now catching up to 007 once again. And slowing down. Well, I'm not sure what that was all about. Both of them slowed down into turn 1 there. And Forzan's going to try and go for the overtake now with the DRS open. Ooh, he's right on the outside of the track there. 007 leaving him absolutely nothing. But Forzan back up into P4 once again after having that little bit of a half spin. Stanley now attacking on Jones. Into turn 4 they go, not quite close enough to overtake there for Stanley, but he is keeping very, very close to the back end of that Williams.
Yeah, it always seems like when you get down to the last few laps of Bahrain, that's when things start to happen. That's when the gaps and the strategies come to a close, because there are so many different strategies enabled. It comes right down to the last few laps. Stanley still close to Jones, but nothing going here. I'm really surprised. I thought there'd be more of a train. A lot of the drivers, they're just kind of doing their own races, which is a lot different than last night from the Golden class. There was quite a few trains and battles happening at the same time. Tonight it's just one here and there. Just surprising. Also last night there was 2 or 3 safety cars. We only had a few VSCs tonight, so we didn't have an opportunity to collect the grid. Stanley on Jones in the first corner, side by side. It seems Stanley. Oh, Jones lost it on the traction. Almost collected Stanley, but did well to collect it. And I'm back up at front. Breezy just was able to get the 5 seconds he needed over Bats Plus. It's 5.4. So if he keeps a 5-second, he's right on the border. Just a few tenths, he'll be able to get second place. And as long as it stays like this, Pisassin will claim another victory, I believe. Let's see, will this be its 8th win?
7th.
7th. That's
or no,
good.
Yeah, 7th. Yeah, 7th. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I think is it Tasmanian Devil that holds the TCR record for the most wins in a single season?
Ooh. You really put me on the spot for that one.
I'm pretty sure it was Tasmanian
Devil
yeah.
would know.
I'm pretty sure it was him, and I think he holds it at either 7 or 8. So either Pisassin is going to tie it up here tonight, or you know, or he might be going very, very close to breaking that record.
Yeah, I mean, we've had different race numbers for sure. Some last season was 12 in season 11. and we're on what race number 10 tonight. So you can just see the difference of what a 12 versus a 15 race schedule really does. Because if this was race number 10, you know, that's almost done. You know, we would only have 2 extra races, but you know, we have an extra 5.
Forzan is out of the race. I'm sorry to interrupt there, but Forzan lost it on the exit of looks like turn 7 and smashed into the wall, and his car is missing a front wheel. So that unfortunately is going to be the end of the race for Forzan. Yellow flag did come out in sector 2, but no safety car.
Yeah, and Bats Plus went to he went in the pit lane. He had a gap, so it looks like he's going to go for fastest lap here, and he'll be able to keep 3rd, which is a smart strategy to get that extra point. And also, man, Forzan just crashed out maybe a lap or 2 late. If he did it a little bit earlier, a safety car might have came out. That could also be a reason why Bats maybe came in, just maybe see if there's a safety car. He would have had the jump on it already, but he's just going to go and he'll set a quick lap on the final lap.
Yeah, we're really down to the last couple of laps here right now. Passassin still leading by half a second over Breezy. Breezy still has a 5-second penalty to his name as well, but since Bats Plus has pitted, he's going to be able to keep that P2. Bats Plus going for that extra point, as Seafreeze mentioned, so very nice decision from him there. He had the gap behind, he had the gap in front. He could have done whatever he wanted, and that yellow flag probably prompted him to come out. But now we're about to start the last lap here. It's been a very exciting race. We've seen a lot of good action, a lot of overtaking, a lot of battling. Possibly not as much as we did see last night in Golden Class, as you mentioned. We had some really big trains there and a lot of crazy situations, but either way, it was a really nice, clean race, technical. A lot of these drivers have shown us that they have the pace and, you know, they know how to control the car around here. Breezy, you know, keeping that pressure on Passassin, even though it's late into the season, and since he got that penalty, didn't really help him out. But either way, it's nice to see. And Tasmanian Devil letting us know, yep, the record is 8 wins. So Passassin will be 1 away from tying it up here tonight.
Yeah, and there's 5 races left, so he could tie it and set it clear. I'm surprised it's only 8, to be honest. I thought I won a lot back in my day. Seasons, they get longer and longer. We got, what do we got? 15 this one, huh? Oh, we got another yellow. That's Dreamsy. And it looks like Passassin, oh, yeah, there's Dreamsy. He spun up on the track. He was ghosted.
Yeah, and I think season 10 we had 18 races, so it's been changing every season. But here is Passassin making it around the last corner, across the line, and for a 7th win this season in season 12. That is Passassin on the top. Seb Breezy right behind him in 2nd place, but with a 5-second penalty. Bats Plus did set a fastest lap of the race, and he will hold on to P3. And those are going to be your podium finishers. Still some positions changing at the back there. Jones overtaking, looks like Deathwish. Deathwish might have had a little moment because he's dropped a position to Chatty Duck as well. So Jones is going to make it up to P8 and get an extra few points to his name. Perry finishes in 4th. 007 comes around to finish in 5th place. It looks like KGB Black Angel in 6th. Stanley is going to get 7th. And then we have Jones, Chatty, and Deathwish. And Dreamsy, unfortunately, not going to get any points from tonight's race, finishing in 11th place. But wow, what a battle out front it was between Passassin, Breezy, Bats Plus. Cameron was in it for a while as well. Forzan was kind of catching up to the pack until he had a little bit of a moment there. But we got to see some brilliant racing from this Platinum class. And Passassin, for the 7th time this season, gets to stand on the top step of the podium. Barry the Dog gets Driver of the Day here tonight. and I think he drove a pretty good race.
And with Possession's win, with the Alfa Romeos not having the best of days, I think the sole Mercedes driver just increased the constructors' gap as well.
Incredible performance once again from Possession here tonight for the win. Breezy in second, Bats Plus in third, Perry in fourth, 007 in fifth place. P6 goes to KGB, P7 Stanley, 8th is Jones, Chatty 9th, and Death with Tricky is going to get the last point of tonight's race. Dreamsy was the last finisher here tonight in 11th. Forzan unfortunately crashed out towards the end of the race, 3 laps to go. F1 Racer DNF'd in the pits, so did Apparatus, so did Cameron, and I think so did Zeppelin possibly. So we finished with the 11 runners, but it was an incredible race here tonight. Bahrain never really disappoints, as Seafree said last night in the Golden Class, and it proves his point here tonight once again. It was a great race under the lights. I really love to see these cars racing at nighttime, so I really enjoyed this one. We're going to get to hear from our podium finishers here in a moment as well, so if you guys have any questions for them, make sure to leave them in the chat right now so we can make sure to see that, and we will ask the drivers your questions, but I'm sure we also have some good questions to ask them. We'll get straight to that. And in P3, we have the AlphaTauri of Bats Plus. Bats Plus, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, congratulations on that P3 finish. You were right up in the fight for possibly even the win here tonight. In the early stages of the race there, it seemed to sort of switch around for you a little bit when we went into the pits, when we switched over to the medium tires, and then I wasn't really expecting you guys to take them until the end. But tell us about it from your perspective. How did you like tonight's race?
I used a different setup than yesterday, and it was worse. So I was really understeery, so I just stayed in DRS. And then in the pits, I got stuck. I got held up, I guess, when the other 2 guys passed me, or someone else was coming into the pits. So I lost 2 seconds to the leaders coming out of the pits. And I got a weird delta as the safety car was ending, so I was over the delta. Or under the delta, so I had to jam the brakes, and I think I ended up like 2.5 seconds behind. But I caught them, and I got stuck behind Perry when they caught up to him, and then I couldn't get back into the DRS. We were the same pace the whole race.
How did those medium tires feel towards the end of the race there? Because honestly, as I said, I really wasn't expecting you guys to take it until the end. It wasn't a strategy that any of us predicted, but soft to mediums, how was it?
It was fine. I was going to pit on that lap anyway for mediums and go to the end, so they were okay.
All right, and Seafreeze,
I made the last pit stop to get the fastest lap after I got out of the 5-second range.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, mention about fastest lap. I thought that was pretty good. Did you, were you always gonna pit then, or was that just something that popped up when you got outside that 5-second?
I was thinking about it
Yeah.
from as far back as maybe 12 laps left. I was losing about 1/10 of a second a lap. And then I made a small mistake and lost a couple tenths, and then once Possession got past Breezy, he was a little bit quicker at the end of the stint, and I was out of ERS, so I was losing a little bit more, so I just came into the pits once I got outside the Perry's pit window, so I didn't get stuck behind him.
Nice. Well, congratulations on the P3, and depending on how the results were last night, that could have been a double podium back-to-back nights, so good results here at Bahrain.
Yep.
All right, let's move over then to our P2 finisher, and that is Breezy in the Red Bull. Breezy, that was a great drive. I mean, as I was saying during the stream there, I think for the first time this season, we saw somebody really putting on the pressure on Passassin for the whole race. Straight from the brilliant start, you dropped, I think, a couple of positions right from there. You pretty much were battling for the lead of the race into turn one with Passassin. So tell us about all of that. How did that feel? All right, and actually forgot to mention, but Bats Plus with that P3, I think he just about takes enough points here tonight because Mebi and Chatty had a pretty bad race, so he's gonna jump himself up into the All-Star race. You are comfortably in the All-Star race. How are you feeling about that next week? Portimao is a new track that we've never driven. Are you excited for that one?
Yeah, I get 2 entries, so that'll have to bump someone else out. So someone will get the wild card, in my spot. But yeah, it's a pretty good track and it's fun to race on.
All right, and same
Oh, we're
question for
getting
Breezy as well.
we're getting word. Tasmanian says someone doesn't have the party audio sharing on. So I
Uh-oh.
don't know who he's referring to, but we're not hearing somebody.
Okay,
That
well,
might be my
Breezy, I mean,
computer.
same question to you as well. How are you feeling for Portimao? And also, how are you feeling for the rest of the season? I mean, tonight you put some real pressure on Assassin. Can you possibly carry that on for the rest of it? All right, and unfortunately, we're getting word that it's your audio that wasn't being shared. So, congrats again on P2. Good luck next week. Good luck in the rest of the season. Hopefully, we will see you battling it out with Assassin more in the last few races here. Alrighty, and we'll jump over then to Passassin. Once again, I mean, again, so many times this season we get to talk to Passassin in the post race interviews. Seventh time this season now that you get a win. You're one away from tying the all-time record for most wins in a single season in TCR history. Tasmanian Devil, who's been very active in the chat here tonight, has let us know that 8 wins is the record, and he's currently holding it. So, I mean, how are you feeling about all of that? 7 wins in a single season, leading the championship in the drivers by quite a margin, leading the constructors championship all by yourself as a one-man team. Must feel pretty amazing, but tell us about it from your perspective.
Yeah, it feels really nice, it was a really fun race between me and Breezy. We were very similar and on pace, so it was always going to be close. And it was unfortunate that he got that penalty because it would have been very close in the end, in my opinion. But regarding the points situation, I'm happy about it. Of course, it's been a successful season, and I mean, I'm happy to have won as much as I have, and hopefully going into the All-Star race, maybe could tie the record. That'd be pretty big there. That'd be the goal. Going to Portimao, it's going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, so the Portimao race is going to be an all-star race that doesn't actually count for your points. But, I mean, yeah, if you win that one, that's going to be like just, a grand slam across every possibility. Now, we might have some returning champions in that race. Maybe even Tasmanian. Maybe we'll get some other people. Maybe Seafreeze even. I don't know.
No, Blinn, I gotta. Unless someone wants to give me 120, that's what it. I need to enter the race. I need to buy the game and PS Plus. So I'll take some donations after the race. Yes, yeah. This is not TJ, unless you want it to be. This is Seafreeze.
Well, it's nice of him to let.
That's why I'm using his account, because I didn't buy the game yet.
Ah.
Well, maybe you can use his account for the All-Star race as well. It will be same TJ, but actually Seafreeze. We will make sure.
Maybe.
We will make sure to let Codemasters know ahead of time so they can change it in the race.
Maybe I'll just take over his account. Maybe I'll just change it and say tough luck,
Absolutely. But Basassin, I mean, back to you. One more question, I guess. How did it feel tonight to have somebody breathing down your neck? And finally, I feel like for the first time this season, you've had somebody really putting on the pressure on you. Did you enjoy that more, or do you like it more when you just sort of get to run away with it?
Running away with it is not fun. It never will be fun. It's always better to have a driver contesting you, and it just helps both drivers improve their racecraft and everything. It just helps them. What's that thing?
You seem kind of exhausted.
Yeah, I'm tired.
It was a grueling race, I bet, huh?
Yeah, it was a long one, 29 laps, and he was there every single one. So, yeah, we were back and forth a bit, and it was very fun.
All right, Basassin, well, congratulations again. 7 wins, 1 more to go to tie the record, 2 more to go to break the record. So we'll see if you can do it with the 5 more races to go this season. Congrats again. All right, so Seafreeze, it was a big one. It was an exciting race. There was a lot happening on the track, a lot of overtaking. How did you like that one?
Yeah, it was good. It was a nice battle between the top two. I got to see Assassin in action, and he's really showing himself that he's the real deal here in Platinum. I think this, as mentioned earlier, this might have been my first commentary in Platinum, so it was nice to see the top guys go for it. Quite earlier on, it seemed like it was going to be multiple drivers going for it, but with a few little incidents, it turned out to be with Breezy and Assassin. But other than that, some good racing here and there. The strategy presented itself well. We did not get that safety car that we might have wished for to put the group back together. But nonetheless, it was still good for Bahrain. I really like Bahrain later in the season because it really provides for some good racing and kind of equals the field a little bit because of the DRS. So it was a good race. I'm ready for a few days off, and then we get to do Portimao next week, which will be great. And then after that, the TCR GP. Back at it again at Brazil. It feels like it's been forever since that race has taken place. So we got some good races coming up, and a good way to finalize the season, and for the rest of the remainder of it, all the way up pretty much right before Christmas is when we get this thing decided. So, and we have some nice championships in silver and gold. So there's a lot to look forward to down the stretch for everybody, and it starts next week.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you again for joining me in the booth here tonight. Thanks to everybody who's been watching. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave some more comments or messages in the chat. Check out the links in the description to our Tech and also to our website where you can sign up and race with us. But next week, as we mentioned, we will not be here on Tuesday and Wednesday since it's an off week for most of the league. But we will be here next Thursday at the regular time, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to be here for the All-Star Race, which will feature the top 5 currently in the standings in all 3 classes, as well as some additional special guests and possibly some previous champions of TCR as well. So join us then. Until then, thank you guys so much again for watching. Thank you for your support. Make sure to check out all of our social media channels and everything else like that. And then join us next week for the All-Star Race here in TCR in Season 12. From Blame Machine, from Seafreeze, and from everybody at Trinity Competitive Racing, thank you for watching and have yourself a great night.